welcome back again, guys, to another video tutorial from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club YouTube channel. My name is Apex Lenio, and yes, we are back once again to highlight another epic moment in my 11-year career that I have worked so hard for, and I have definitely put in a lot of work to get to the level where I am at the moment. As you would have seen from my previous upload, I shared a wonderful moment in my career where I executed one of many, or should I say one of few, break and run packs in 8-ball that I have ever executed. And of course, yes, this is another matchup between the same opponent, Demar Grant, one of my most worthy and feared opponent. Not to say feared as in fear him as a player, but it's one of my most respected and most worthy rival in this game. We have had many battles, and this was of course one of those battles that I eventually won. Alright, I'm not going to be showing you the entire match because evidently the match was very tense, and there were some moments in the game where we didn't go according to, we didn't do all break and runs. There were some dogfight rocks that we had to go through, but for the most part, this match was in fact a very epic one. I will leave a link right here in the cards for you to see the final rock and how that ended. You can definitely see a few shots. One of the most epic shots played in my career on the hill under tremendous pressure in this matchup. Alright, so here we go, guys. That's the break off. Let me first take the opportunity here to apologize to you all for the quality of the video. This was a very old video, and I did my very best in trying to give you the best quality that I possibly could in terms of how it looks. So do apologize for the greenness of the quality and the smudging in the pixels of the video, but I hope that you learned something from the execution of the following rocks here. Alright, so if this is the first time here on the channel, guys, do not forget to smash that subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell, drop a like, and leave me a comment down below, guys. Let me know what you think about the lessons offered by me here on my YouTube channel. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump right into talking about the rock. And as I said, guys, there was a lot of noise in the background. Clearly you're not able to hear it because I've muted the background, but there was a lot of distraction, there was a lot of noise, and this was a true test of how much pressure I thought, or how much pressure I think I could have handled. And when I tell you that everyone there that you see are Mapin based players, there's a couple of manual players there, but it was more, on this day here, we had a Moscone Cup fight and they defeated our team. And so I was just doing a little side gambling here for about 6,000 Jamaican dollars. And again, it was just another great match. Alright, so I had to really be fighting my mental game here. And I had to take my I had to take my time here, guys, to actually construct this rock and try to definitely get a win, leave the arena knowing that it wasn't a loss, but it was a win-lost for me. Great kick shot there on the 1-ball. Of course, leave me a comment down below, guys, if you thought that the rock could have been run a different way. What do you think? As I said, I was under pressure, guys, tremendous pressure, and I was fighting a mental battle, but I did come out and I prevailed. But yeah, there was a great kick shot there on the 1. And now I am actually back into the position where I had initially played the kick shot from. So now I'm gonna have to, it doesn't seem as if I can pot the 3-ball, but I have a jump shot that I may have to take on here, because the 3-ball is able to go into the side, but I'm not able to pot it straight down into the corner. So right now it seems as if I have my jump cue out. I'm about to jump this 5-ball here. Let us see the execution. Once I can jump and control this cue ball and leave it right into that same area there, I should find myself with a nice position onto the 3 to actually construct a run out here. And here we go, nicely popped shot into the corner there, very good. I think I am able to get onto the 3. I'm not sure if it can go into the side. I do not remember exactly what decision I made here, but I think, let's see here, let's see the setup. And as I said, guys, there was a lot of distraction. There was so many talking and cheering for the opponent at this point. And like I said, they were on a ramp. They had just won 100,000 Jamaican dollars in total prior to this little matchup here. This was just me challenging once again my most worthy opponent throughout my entire career here. All right, so it doesn't seem as if the 3 is makeable into the side. Seems as if I may have to play position. As you can see, this is more of a this compared to the last video that I uploaded, this was more of a slow-paced match, more constructed, more deliberate. Nice spin shot there, nice little masse to get that 3 ball to pass the 9. It's a good shot there. And now I have this shot that I'm going after. Now I'm just going to play, I probably think I'm going to just play 2 reels and play for a high shot here, a high angle onto the next object ball. And that's nice. A little close to the rail though, not ideal. I needed a bit flatter angle, I should say, or perhaps a more steeper angle so I could just move the cue ball around a little bit easier. But it seems as if I have an angle that is tracking towards the side rail, so I should be able to just kind of jack up a little bit and perhaps go 1-2 reels and back into the open table here for a shot onto the 8. And that was a nicely executed shot. I escaped the 10 ball there though. Could have caused a bit of trouble there, but I was fortunate there in terms of playing position and leaving myself with a nice shot here on the 8. And as you can see at the start of the video, you can see that I had pot the 8 ball. So that actually, this is my second rack in a row. The previous rack was actually not a break and run, but it was just a clearance of the table. So that was a nice little execution there. And of course, a few good shots were potted into that rack. Right. Alright guys, so that was a nice rack there. Going into the second rack. I believe this is going to be my second break and run in a row. Alright. I had posted a previous video, so if you haven't seen that video as yet guys and you're watching this one, be sure to check that one out. That one was epic. I had 3 break and runs in a row in that one. And like I said, break and runs is something that is normal for me. This is once the table is open, I have trained myself and I'm at a level where I can actually just clear any table regardless of how clustered it may be. We are actually playing on a valley table, valley 8-foot table, and of course primarily 8 ball is my country's favorite game, and but 9 ball and 10 ball is actually my favorite game. You know, I believe that there's a lot of knowledge that I think I can use to actually develop my 8 ball game. Alright, so apparently Demar had won the rack after I had broken and run out, and then now he broke the rack, and now I'm about to commence this run out. So here you can see this is a very clustered rack here. A couple of balls are in the rack area there. I actually have ball in hand, and like I said, it doesn't matter how much clustered the rack is. I've trained myself over the years and I've done this so many times. It's just the ability for me to execute runouts like this under pressure. And like I said, if you compare the movements around the table in this video compared to that of the previous video, you can see clearly there's a difference in my demeanor. Obviously this was a match that was played a few years after, or I should say a few months after that one. So at that time, as I said, I was quite hyped up. I was quite ecstatic. I was pumping. Everything was just going well for me, as I said. and I spoke to you last time in the previous video about being on autopilot. Here in this match you can clearly see that I am playing this game with my conscious mind. I'm literally not allowing my subconscious to take over. I'm literally just planning everything to the T. I'm literally not trying to allow the cue ball to do anything fancy. If I don't know where the cue ball is going, then I'm not going to be playing the shot. So right now I'm immediately attacking one of my problems, which is the 3 ball clearly, or is that the 5 ball, I believe. So once I can get that ball from out of that area there, I believe I'm just going to play with a bit of top spin maybe. Nicely potted, getting that cue ball out for the 5 or the 3. Both balls have similar colors, as you would know. Well, not at the moment, but at the time when we were playing, we had an orange ball to represent the 5 and a red to represent the 3. So nicely done here. I think I may have wanted to get that 7 the side from now, but cue ball roll a bit heavy. So now I'm going to have to alter the plan a little bit. This is just one of those rocks where I try to run the rock, and actually most of the time, almost on every shot, I had to alter the plan a little bit based on the angle that was presented to me and based on the position. And that was a nicely potted shot there. Cue ball is a little bit heavy though. Literally wanted to just come into that zone for the 1. Came up a bit heavy on here. I don't remember what the score was at this point, but I do remember that I was leading. I know that he had made a comeback on me. I was actually leading 5-2 and he came back at 6-5, and then I believe this was the rock that I had run to had reached on the hill. It was an impressive rock, as you're going to see at the end how I landed on the 8. So I had to play some really critical and crucial shots in order to actually get the cue ball into certain areas where I could pot my object balls. Alright, great. So as you can see, I'm just assessing the game here a little bit, just asking the crowd there for just a little bit of silence, just for me to concentrate a bit. As I said, there was a lot of noise in the background. It was crazy cheering during the rock, after the rock. It was just one of those matches where I literally had to stay within my mind in order to get out. Nice shot there, just kind of steering the cue ball, which is not ideal. You just kind of want to make sure that if you're going to play a particular shot, you're going to play it so that you don't have to use your body to play position, but just allow the cue ball to play natural or intended position. Alright, so still have a couple of balls on the table here. This rack is taking longer than usual. As you can see, every shot is deliberately planned. And so let's see here, I'm on the 1. Stroking this cue ball down here nicely. Trying to go below, I believe that's the 2 ball. I was trying to go below, but now I've landed dead flat on this 2 and I only have a bank available. And as I said, guys, there are thousands of rocks that I've attempted to run where I have always messed up on the key ball to the 8. And so, as I tell you, if I tell you right now that I've run more than 1,000 games in my career, I can tell you that I've missed about 10,000 games in my career. So this is just one of those rocks where I really, the 8 ball is not in a pocketable position. I'm banking. This is a hope shot, as we'd call it in my country. Just banking and hoping that the cue ball is going to land into an area. But apparently it seems as if the natural angle is available for the bank. And if I just bank this with a bit of top spin, then it should come off one rail and head nicely into the zone there. Beautiful bank shot there. Excellent, landed on the 8. And leveling the score here at 6-6 after a great comeback there by DeMar Grant. And now we are down to the wire. I'm not sure if this was actually 6-all or it was actually 5-4 and I head to 6. I'm not quite certain what was the score at this point, because it was such a long time ago. But I thought that those 2 rocks, the break and run out plus the clearance there, was one of those rocks that you know that as a player, it takes more than just the ability to go on the table, practice every day. and try to execute fancy shots. You have to be able to think, you have to be able to execute all the aspects, the theoretical aspects of the game, because I've spent a lot of time on the table practicing how to bank, kick, jump, but running out requires a little bit more than just it's just all of those variables that comes together in order for you to really and truly be able to run racks consistently. All right, and as I said, guys, I'm a much better player now. I'm a much more consistent player now in terms of my ability to think about the game. At this point, I was just really in a zone. I was in a prime zone. I was deep into practice at this point. I've had several moments in my career where I went into training for like 3 months, back out, started to play on the circuit. Then, you know, in my country it's a little bit difficult because pool is not a primary sport. It's just one of those sports that we play tournaments, but it's not big. And due to the fact that I have to work, this is literally not my job. I wish it was, but it's not my job, and I literally have to be working outside of me training. All right, once again, Demar Grant broke the rack here, and this time he did not scratch, but he left again another partially clustered table, couple of problems to solve. And of course, again, this is just one of those scientific and calculated runouts that I have executed, and I'm really happy here to show you some of these best moments. And as we talk about best moments, guys, nice shot there, very nice shot. Slide in between those clusters to get a shot onto this 5 or the 3. Is that what it is? Not sure. But as you're here, guys, if you're at this point in the video, do not forget to smash that subscribe button below and turn on your post notification bell. Drop a like, leave me a comment down below, and stay tuned. I'm going to be posting a seriously epic video. It's going to be long, but I recommend that you guys take the time out and watch this entire match. You will not be disappointed. Everything is gonna be in that match: kicking, banking, jumping, breaking and run out, running packs, twists and turns, miss shots. It's gonna be a crazy match, and I'm gonna show you the entire match. I'm gonna commentate on the entire match for you, and I'm gonna guide you through what I called the most prized moment in my career. This is perhaps one of the best times I've ever played pool ever in my life, and it has remained in my life as one of the best moments in my career. All right, so there I played a safe shot, and now Demar Grant missed his next shot, and now he's left me again with a partially open table. So this is not literally like a break and run out, or it's not a table clearance, but this is one of those racks where you play a shot and you have to go for a strong defensive shot so that your opponent, so you can force a miss or a mistake from your opponent. And so I did, played a safe, caused him to miss the shot, and now I'm back on the table, and I don't think that I can bring him back. I don't think I did in actuality. So now here we are. Let's see, I'm just gonna be sliding this cue ball here. You can see I'm gonna be jacking up really and truly throughout the clusters. It's not a lot of space to put my arms, so moving the cue ball around in these little areas, bumping clusters, moving balls into position. It shows a lot of knowledge when it comes to cue ball control and cue ball understanding. It's not easy to run a rack on a cluster table, and I've run some racks in my life where from the break you can clearly see that this cannot be a run out, but yet I still managed to execute it. All right, so let's see here. This is the final rack of this video. As you can see, we are approaching the end, but there's something that I want you to all learn from this, because by me watching this video over now when I'm doing the commentary, I realize that I tend to play pool a lot better whenever it is that I am actually calculating everything. If it's not calculated, it doesn't seem as if I'm gonna get it right. And even though I've spoken to you guys about being in your subconscious mind, allowing your thoughts, allowing your practice to be on autopilot, there are going to be cases where the pressure is so high, the demands, you're thinking about the end product, you want to win the tournament, you want to win the match, you want to win the money. And so sometimes we forget the basic principles, such as our shot routine, planning, delivery of the cue, assessing the problem, finding the problem, solving the problem. And sometimes we tend to do some stuff on the table that causes racks not to be run as effective as we ought to run them. But here you can see a very calculated run out here. Definitely in a little bit of bother here. I have this 3 ball that is locked up all the way up there. I do not have a clear path to it. I'm looking to see how I can land. I'm trying to see maybe if I land close to the side pocket there, or above the side pocket on the side rail, maybe I can have a thin back cut onto the 3. So I'm looking to perhaps cut this 7 ball in and go maybe 1-2 rails. I don't want to hit this 7 too thick, because it might come off 2 rails too heavy. So I just want a thin hit here, sliding up. This is nice, really nice here, and landing nicely here into the only space on the table that I could make the 3 ball. That's a nice shot there from the 7 to the 3. And now I literally will have to pocket this 3 here and try to get position onto the 8. So I'm looking here to just kind of go 2 rails, and it's landing on the short side of the 8. It's a really thin back cut here. This cue ball can come off a bit sharp out of the corners of the corner pocket. So I've just got to be careful to just maybe use a bit of inside spin here to check this cue ball and kill it off, landing onto the short side. Wanted to get a nicer shot on the 8 here, but I've landed fairly well. I have 2 open pockets. One is tough, one is not so tough. So I'm taking on the back cut here. And I think this, if I remember correctly, this was the rack that actually allowed me to get to 5. So just kind of lining this up here. A lot of the times these shots under pressure, most players will cut these shots and they will overcut, because we tend to aim towards the back of the pocket instead of the opening of the pocket. And this is a lot of time. This is a few, I'm going to be posting a few videos in the near future, as I said, guys, when we're going to be growing together. So when it reaches to the point where I'm going to teach you about how to back cut certain shots, where to aim into the pocket. Alright guys, so that brings us there to the end of another epic match, I would say. Thank you so much. Do like, share and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below, and thank you for watching. See you soon in my next tutorial video. This is Apex Lenio signing out. Peace.